Welcome to the Focused and Fearless podcast, the show designed to explore how you can step into powerful self-leadership and stop settling for less in your life, business, health, and wealth. I'm your host, Heather Angel, and as a certified energy practitioner, coach, and online business consultant with over a decade of experience, you can expect expansive, honest, and enlightening conversations about what it really takes to create the changes in your life and business that right now may just feel completely out of reach. Thank you for choosing to invest in yourself by listening to this episode. Without further ado, let's dive in. The Focused and Fearless podcast is back. Hello. It's been forever. For those of you that were part of the Focused and Fearless family, listening to the podcast when it first started, you'll know that I think it was June 2021. I was like, right, taking a bit of break because I had to have some surgery. I'll be back in the autumn. Now here we are in 2022, in April, and we're only just getting started. And there has been reasons for that, many of which I will go through because there's been some huge life lessons for me and for the evolution of my business over the last, a couple of years really. But certainly in the last sort of 8 to 9 months, it's been interesting, shall we say. But I wanted to let you know in this introduction, if you like, to the Focused and Fearless podcast, it's a bit different around here now. We are going to be looking at all the things, which goes against all the advice I've had about starting a podcast and launching a podcast. Everyone's like, niche down, be really specific, and it makes perfect sense. But I don't want to. That's not what I want to do. That's not what life is like. Life is a tapestry of all the things. And when you run a business, it's really freaking challenging sometimes because you also have to live this human existence and live a life. For some of you, you need to raise children. For some of you, you've got caring responsibilities for your parents and all that kind of stuff. It's been a real realization over the last 9 months that actually, I don't want to just talk about having an online business. I don't want to just talk about mindset. I don't want to just talk about any particular one subject because that's not what you're experiencing. We experience so many different things, and actually we need help and guidance in all areas, I believe, because we are very ambitious. If you're listening to this, you're most likely a very, very ambitious, driven person. You're curious, you are probably very hardworking, and you're striving for more. You know deep down you're here for more, you're capable of more. And I don't mean that from you need to work harder and hustle and push, but there's that kind of innate knowing that, I'm here for something. I'm on this planet to do something, to serve some kind of higher purpose, to create something of meaning. And that really can mean anything to you. Like I always say, success is what you decide it is. Everyone has a different version of success, and that's fine. And everyone has a different idea about what they're here for and what they want to create while they have this short life that we have. So there's going to be all kinds of topics covered. I have got some amazing interviews all lined up. The format of Focused and Fearless is now going to be there's going to be a shorter episode, which is just me having a little chat with you about whatever I feel that you may need to know. It's going to be very intuitively decided upon. And then every other week, there's going to be an interview. So the interviews are usually a bit longer. We're talking anywhere from sort of half an hour all the way up to maybe 90 minutes. Now, the reason the interviews are longer is I know some of you absolutely love a really deep conversation. You like the longer ones. You like to really get into that conversation and into that topic. So that's why the interviews are a bit longer. What I plan to do is also then do shorter episodes. When I'm doing an episode, it will most likely be shorter, probably around anywhere between 10 minutes and half an hour, depending on the topic. Because equally, some of the feedback I've had is like, yay, I love the short episodes because I can just listen to them on the school run or while I'm just taking the dog out for a walk. So I want to make sure there's something here for all of you. It's probably not going to be a podcast that you listen to every single episode because I value your time and you should too. Some of these episodes may not be relevant to you. I've got people coming on talking about how to best communicate with your team or your VA. Now, if you don't have a team or a VA and have no intention of ever having them, don't listen to that episode. It's not going to be for you. And there's going to be episodes which are going to speak to you deeply, which I know you're going to find really useful. So every week there's going to be something a little bit different. Keep it fresh, keep it upbeat. And yeah, I'm just really, really excited to get back to doing this. And I really want to know, what would you like to know about? Is there anything that you're struggling with when it comes to stepping into your own power, becoming the self-leader that you know you can be, whether it be a business challenge, a life challenge, juggling all the expectations that you have of yourself and your work and your life and your career, all these kind of things? How can I help you? What would you like to know? Because if I don't know it, I have a huge network of incredible people all around the world. So if I don't know the answer to it, I bet I know someone who does. So I can bring them on and they can share their wisdom with you. So the best way for you to kind of get in contact with me is through maybe an Instagram DM. I don't use Instagram. That's something I'm going to be talking about in one of the episodes. I don't really use social media anymore. I did a deep dive last year into how much value it was actually giving my company. Like, really took myself out of it and looked at the company and how much social media was impacting the number of leads and number of sales and my profit margins ultimately. And you know what? It was a very, very small slice of the pie. Other things I was doing was having a much bigger impact and far more enjoyable, actually, like speaking to people in person, being at networking events, being guest speakers. That was making much bigger impact on my business than posting on social media all the time. So as much as I say, come and talk to me on IG, when you look at my grid, there's probably not going to be much on there. It's really going to be just about the podcast, because that is where I want my people to come together and listen and share their experiences. But I always check my DMs. I still have loads of conversations with people in my DMs, and that's what I love about social media, is it allows me to stay connected. It allows all of us to stay connected no matter where we are in the world, and we can, just pick up our phones and have a little voice note conversation with people that, are on the other side of the planet. And I love that. I love how connected I am to people that I've worked with from years ago, people that I've met at events years ago. So I do love that. So you can contact me and let me know if there's a specific challenge you're facing, any particular life or business. This podcast is going to cover it all. So any challenges you're facing, any questions you've got, any feedback you've got, find me at Heather Angel Coaching on Instagram and send me a DM. That is the best way of finding me. You can also find me on LinkedIn. And again, I really don't post very much, but I am always in the messages. So get in touch, get involved. Let this podcast be something that's really going to help you. I don't want you just spending 10 minutes listening to a podcast and going, oh, that was good. Like, let it move you. Let it be something that either inspires you or gives you a little tip that you can take action on, because that's what I want for you. I want you to have whatever you want. Really, I want you to step into your full power, and that can take time. But I hope through this podcast, I can just drip feed little bits of information that aren't overwhelming, that can help you kind of go, oh, okay, yeah, I've got this idea. I could roll with this. I could use that a bit of advice, or, that's something that's motivated you for the morning. So without further ado, I am going to close this episode and just welcome you back. And I can't wait for you to dive into all the interviews and all the episodes that I have planned for you. It's great to be back, my darling. Speak to you soon. Thank you for joining me today. And remember, any resources and links mentioned in this episode can be found in the show notes. If you're enjoying this podcast, I would be so grateful if you would kindly share, subscribe, and leave a positive review so that the podcast can help and reach as many people as possible. Thank you again for listening. Have a gorgeous day, and I'll see you in the next episode.